Hello and welcome to Deliberately Creative. I'm Stephanie and I want to welcome you to another lesson from the Sketchbook. This time we're doing a fun pen and ink kitty cat, and it is much more cartoony and no coloring going on this time. You can color it after you're all done. Let's get started and I'll show you how fast, fun and easy drawing a kind of grumpy cat really is. Today I am doing this really sweet kitty cat, and he's very basic shapes, which makes it really nice. There's basically a rounded, squishy triangle, or maybe like a candy kiss. And you see, I sort of put it in with dotted lines, just so it wasn't a hard line. I'm going to do the same type of thing, but make them a little bit longer for his ears. And these are sort of long triangles going off the top of the slope on the sides of his head. And then on one edge, we're going to put a line. That makes it look like he's got the inside of his ears and the outside. And about even with the base of the ears, wherever you put the base of your ears, about even with that is about where the top of his nose is going to go. And I do kind of another squishy triangle, but this time the long sides are kind of squished in just ever so slightly. And I just give him a interesting little expression. His eyes are actually quite large, making him a little more kitteny. But you notice I'm not worried if I don't make them perfectly matched. And I am going to put another little triangle on either side. And then we're going to put a long, sort of pointed oval. It's pointed. Gets pointed down here at the bottom, and it's pointed up at the top. And there's his eyes. See how fast and easy this guy's going in. Now his body, it is going to be joined to the head, sort of about where the corner of his eye right here is. That's where it's going to join to his neck there. And you see the corner of his eye here. That's about where his neck joins there. And he's kind of a chubby cat. So to make him chubby, and I'm using my dotted lines again, I'm bringing it out and down. And then his tail is going to come up, swing in, and then come back towards his back end. I'm still using my dotted lines because what we're going to do is go back in and give him fur. And it's a lot easier to add fur when you have a broken line. Something that's nice to know, isn't it? So now the front of his chest is going to come out just like that. And it is going to swing back, but it's not going to come all the way down to the base where his tail is. And there's a reason for that, is that he's got a foot that comes down and has his little toes. And then he has another one that comes down. So these are his front legs. Just like that. Isn't he cute? So then I want his chest to end up being about like this, fuzzy and furry. So he's kind of like that. Now, remember, this is kind of a cartoon kitty. He's not a realistic kitty. But this gives us a place to have fun and just enjoy ourselves while we're doing this. So now we're going to go in and put some fur. And the first fur I want to put in is down here on this back leg, because it's actually going to be all dark. It's more in shadow. And I'm just making the fur grow down the leg, as fur would be. And coming out on his feet, he's got soft furry paws. But I'm not worried about making those as dark. Maybe right down in here. And then, so this one is actually a fairly light, so I'm only going to put a little impression of some dark little flicks of fur. And this is actually his tail. So I want to go ahead and get some hair out here on his tail. And it's like I just realized I put his fur on his tail going the wrong direction. Because if you were to stroke the cat down, you would go out to the tail. And you wouldn't be going against the fur. Right here, I would be petting against the fur. So I don't want that to happen. So we'll just end up making that into more of a shadow line and get his fur going the right direction. It ends up being a little bit cross-hatched. And I'll go out beyond that edge. Just like that. I'm going to rotate this just a little bit. It's easier. It's easier to rotate the work than it is to twist my arm. You know, it's always better to rotate the work to make it so that it feels better for you. So there we are. He's really going in quite nicely, quite quick and easy. Let's go ahead and get the little fur on his feet. Get his front paws in here. There we go. So, just give him a little thing that he's sitting on right there. And now I'm going to work down, just like petting the kitty. Pet that kitty cat. Give him his fur going down his back. And this is where his thigh for his back leg. And I think I want this actually to come down more like that. And it would actually maybe a little bit right here. And then we'll go down his chest. You see how that's making it look more fluffy and less like I'm trying to draw over a hard line. There we go. And then his little head is actually going to come out and down towards his cheeks and into his chest. The shape of the head on this one really reminds me of the little kitten, the little cat from the Pepe Le Pew cartoons. Reminds me of the little girl, Black Kitty, who ends up getting that stripe on her. So she ends up looking like a skunk for a while. And has that sort of look on the face here. Let's put a little bit of the fur in on the face and up here between the eyes. A little bit. You're just giving an impression. I'm not actually, coloring him in. I'm not giving it, I'm not coloring every piece of fur. This is a fairly short-haired kitty cat. I think I want to broaden that out just a little bit and make that a little bit darker right here underneath the chin. See, it's just, you just work little areas. Just work them out, just slowly. Now, this really looks much more like a kitten because of the huge ears. And I probably could have done these ears a wee bit smaller, but it's cute. So I'm not too worried about it. Again, if you decide that you want to do this, you can always do it with a pencil and an eraser first and figure out the size of things that you want them to be. I went ahead and just did this straight to pen. And when you do that, sometimes you just have to make adjustments on the fly. And I don't mind doing that. I think that it's kind of fun to figure it out and to see how we're going to work things out as we go along. That's all part of the fun of this to me. Other people might find that a little bit stressful to just go straight in with a pen. And that's understandable, that's definitely not something I would ever force anyone to do. I am not going to come into your house and take your eraser and pencil away. But I am having fun doing this as a challenge. Look at that face. Oh. A little bit in there. Get a little bit of that on the nose. Some fur here. This one's going to have darker fur back here on this haunch. Kind of goes with that dark leg that's on the other side. That back front leg. Back front leg. The front leg that's to the back of the picture. How's that? Woo! I don't know, doing these pictures, sometimes I just want to draw and just not talk. And I know that that's actually, a lot of people like to watch people just draw. I used to stand at my dad's elbow when he was in his office, and he would bring home mechanical illustrations that he was doing. I mean, I had no idea what he was drawing, but I was so intrigued by him drawing at his big drafting table and seeing just how each line would go on and there would be something new showing up. So I'm pretty sure that that's where I got my ability to be very quiet and focused, was by watching my dad draw. And he could do, and he still, I mean, he still can't. He's still here. He still could draw and make really cool things. He does. He's been a maker all his life. A maker and a doer. If you needed something, he'd figure out how to make it. If the zombies came a-knocking, we could survive. We would figure out how. If the zombies come a-knocking, I'm looking for my dad's house. All right, so we are just about done. This one's not getting any coloring done to him except for a little bit of the pen work here. You see, you just put some little impressions here and there. This is very cartoony. And now I love putting the whiskers in on cats when I'm doing it with a pen. Not so good at it with a paintbrush, but he has these lovely eyebrow whiskers. He has little extra long hairs coming out of his ears. And off of his cheeks here, he has more whiskers. Like that. Now I'll do the same thing on this side. He's going to have his long whiskers. He's going to have his ear whiskers, his little ear hairs, and the eyebrows. And this little kitty, and give him some place for his feet to be sitting here also. There we go. Maybe sitting on top of a fence, but that just gives me a place to put my signature. And this kitty is done. Look at that. If you enjoyed this video, please click that like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video with your friends, and make sure and leave me a comment and let me know, what did you think, and are you interested in more drawing lessons from the sketchbook? I hope to see you again soon. Make sure and go out, do something creative, take care of yourself so that you can take care of those around you. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.